Who is on here today? I got on just for a few minutes while I got a little bit of downtime to talk about the murder of Young Dolph. And I don't want to get on here to speak about rumors or anything like that, being that I live in the city of Memphis. Um, being that I live in the city of Memphis, um, it is extremely disturbing. It is extremely disturbing what has happened to him. You hear so many stories on the street. Um, of course, in my opinion, I feel like it was a hit. You know, I do know in this just being here from the city of Memphis, um, the jealousy in Memphis. You see young rappers like Young Dolph that are moving up, doing certain, just going surpassing what they could have ever thought. And people kind of get jealous. So I think when it's all said and done, I think about all these murders, and being that I am an investigator. So when I see all of these murders, I kind of get, I feel a certain way because I think about the young man that was killed yesterday. Now, the rumor is that the young man was killed where two doors down from where the car was found. The rumor is he was killed because was. They found out that he was the person that actually told the police where the car was. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily true, because how would they know that he was the person that called police and told police where the car was? I kind of believe maybe it could be that, or it could be that the young man knows exactly what happened, and whomever orchestrated this hit on Dolph, whoever that is, they're starting to kill off people that they know about this murder because they are afraid. The sad thing about it is here in the city of Memphis, and I was born and raised here, and being that I worked for the police department for 18 years, I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. I don't think when the killers did what they did, or whoever planned this, they didn't know that people was gonna ride for Young Dolph as they have. You think about a young man who went and made something out of nothing, you know, and then people get jealous. I think about going back, and I'm not being accusatory because I wasn't there. But I can just say from working for the police department, I kind of look back at trails and things of that nature. They tried to kill him several times before. I don't know who tried to kill him. I just know that there were about two or three attempts on his life. And sometimes I do know when your enemies are out to get you or whatever, um, they'll go cold for a while to make you feel comfortable, and then they'll get you when you slipping up, just when they feel like the coast is clear. So you know I his I think a lot of people had it confused. They thought that the young man that was with him was his bodyguard, that was actually his little brother. I'm getting reports that that was his little brother, and there are reports that he actually did get shots off. If you listen to some of the people that was in the area when the murder happened, they said that he did get rounds off. You couldn't see it in the video, but they're saying that he actually did get rounds off. And shortly after, there was a unidentified male black that was dropped off at the hospital in critical condition. They just dropped him off, you know what I mean? And he succumbed to his injury. So they're thinking that maybe that was one of the young men that was in the car that has already passed away. So, like I said, I got a feeling that it's going to get worse. before it gets better. But when it's all said and done, I think it has a whole lot to do with jealousy. Um, and it's sad that African American men can't just make money and be successful and root on each other. Now, it could be something else, but I just don't think that it's going to go past jealousy. I don't think that it's going to go past jealousy and a bunch of beef that don't have anything to do with nothing. And my God, you have to think about there are a lot of investigators, especially the ones in Memphis, that are looking at certain things. And one thing about Dolph and his wife, they were smart. He connected himself with a intelligent woman. I was looking at her old um, podcast. She spoke about business tax, like about business. She understood what it took to be successful. And I'm sure she was instrumental in helping him as far as giving back and things of that nature. That's what you do if you want to grow your business. So I'm sure she kind of coached him on that. So he was smart enough to go get him a smart woman. So, um, with everything that's been happening, I kind of hate it. I was talking to some of the officers that I used to work with, because now I have a private investigative company. I do private investigations. um and they're just set and waiting for the storm. They're just kind of waiting for the storm to hit, because even when it comes out who actually did this to him, it's not going to be good, because you don't want innocent family members and things of that nature retaliated on. I think that's why the police have been mum. And then you can't take everything you hear on the news for face value, because there are certain types of information that the police just cannot give the news media. Okay? I don't even look at the news here a whole lot. You know why? Because when I worked for the police department, I sat right there in the midst of that. And I would be there when the news media would call in desperation because they wanted to know what was going on, whether it was a murder or anything. And they would go, "We're getting ready to go on live. We know that there is a murder. We need for," they would be begging for information, and officers just cannot give vital information. As a matter of fact, sometimes they have to give misleading information, because when they actually get information from somebody who truly has information, they'll know if they're telling the truth or not, or if they just listen to something. If they can't, if they give certain things to the media, so that when people come in with information, they'll go, "Okay, well, this person does truly know something about this crime. They didn't just hear it on the news." So don't believe everything that you hear on the news. I know there was reports about, that Yo Gotti's mother's restaurant was shot up, and um, um, Black youngster's grandmother's house was shot up. That was absolutely not true. So you can't believe that. A lot of times the media wants to get you hyped up and get you emotional, because that's what get them their ratings, and their ratings is what brings in their money. So the only thing that I can say is I do believe that not do believe, I know justice will be served, but I just hope, I just think that it's the calm before the storm, because I think a lot of people, well, some of the people that are being killed off now are probably not people um that anyone in Dolph's camp is doing. I truly believe if it was a hit, and we do believe that it was a hit, then because it is so hot, because the internet is undefeated, because people won't let this go, because they truly love Dolph, and because a $500,000 reward is out there. See, Dolph's girlfriend is extremely smart. She's business savvy. She know what it takes to get people to talk. Um, Whomever orchestrated this is in fear, and oftentimes even the people that they hired, or the people that they were involved with, or plotted this with, that they know, that knows what happened, they will start to kill them off, especially if they are ones that have something to lose, and we don't know who that is. I just know that um, whomever it is that plotted to do this to him, or had this done to him, or whatever, and that did this to him, that justice is served pretty soon. So I'll say at this point, for the city, just pray for Memphis. Just pray for Memphis. um, all of like the propaganda that you see like within the news media and even from other people that may be other rappers and things of that nature that want attention, even if they did not do this, they are endangering themselves. And trust me, people, when they are braggadocious about certain things, they are being watched. They are being watched. So it's not the police, that's the problem. They do this to themselves. Well, the police just want to pin something on me. There is no way in the world that a person with common sense would want to go live and brag about or insinuate that they have had something to do with such um a famous rapper being murdered. And it was harsh the way they murdered him. I was listening to the man that owns one of the owners of Makita's cookie store. They said Dolph was standing over in the corner and he was looking down at his phone. And we all know nothing beats an ambush. They, I don't know if they had been following him. I was looking at Dolph at that gas station. I'm very suspicious about whoever it was that was recording that. It was very quiet. He had no idea who it was that was recording. That he had no idea that he was even being recorded. Who was that? Was it somebody who said, "Well, I'm gonna go live and y'all know, you know, um, know where he," I mean, you never know. Like it could have just been a fan, but or it could have just been random, but either way it go, because they had tried to pop him about 3 times before and did, they just didn't kill him. For some reason, I just don't know who it would be. I don't know if it would be who, and I don't know who it was that tried to get him, that shot him the 2 or 3 times before. But I just kind of believe whoever did that, whatever happened to him, it kind of lies in that world. Okay, it kind of lies in that world. And I kind of walk on a tightrope because I did work for the police department and I still do have friends over there that kind of talk to me. So I would never give out any information that could hurt a case, but I just kind of think whomever that was that wanted him killed then, and I don't know who it was. I don't know anything about that. I just don't see that it being that far from that world. And like I said, when it's all said and done, that was a father, that was a son, he was a husband. His fans loved him, his family loved him. This was a man who spoke about, he was born in the 80s with both of his parents being on crack, and he went and made something nothing, made himself into something. So why take him away because of jealousy? Because of jealousy, you know. So that's a sad thing. And like I said, I just kind of, it's gonna be sad when they do release, because they're very close. They probably already know who did it, okay? But they kind of, police have to kind of walk on a tightrope. You know why? Because they don't want anything to happen to innocent people, such as whomever did this family members. They don't want to endanger them because it's not their faults, you know. So like I said, I just I'll just continuously pray for Memphis, because like I said, I think it's going to get worse before it actually gets better. And like I said, I don't know who did it at this point. If I did, I wouldn't say anything because I care more about the investigation and the case being solved. And trust me, it will be solved. But these murders and these senseless murders have to stop. I don't think that African American men understand yet that they have to wait their turn. Just wait your turn. Don't get jealous in somebody else's season. Your time will come, and it's not up to any other man to put you on, okay? If that person don't put you on, then you just wait your time. Wait your time. It may not even be meant for that person to put you on. And then when it's your time, no, nothing can stop you from shining. Nothing can stop you from making it. But we allow jealousy to allow us to cut somebody's life short, and then ultimately cutting your own life short because you're talking about retaliation, you're talking about innocent people being involved. But like I said, you hear people with money all the time talking about, I'm putting hits on people's heads. That has got to stop too. It's sad that black men with money like that, you don't hear about. No, you don't hear about the rock stars doing stuff like that. You don't hear about the country music singers doing things like that. You see black men with money putting money all on top of their heads, talking about using their money to take other black people's lives. We're the only people that do that in the black community. And then we get mad at the police when they have to come and take us to jail, take you to jail and take you away from all that money you've worked hard for because you didn't know what to do when you had it. You was destructive to yourself and you was destructive to your own race. And so this has got to stop. There are some people that's going to go down, and it's unfortunate because this did not have to happen. It did not have to happen. Whatever happened to having a beef with somebody, if you just want to fight it out. But you're talking about killing somebody, it ain't no coming back from that. Now this man's wife don't even know how she's going to tell their children, she's probably told them by now that their dad, who they adore so much, who was a family man, is never coming home, and all this man wanted to do was provide a good life for his family, and make good music for his fans, and live and be happy. But he couldn't even do that. So at this point, and I feel sorry for the family members of the people that did this, because I don't want to see anything happen to them. It's not their fault that their family members are fools. I don't. I feel sorry for whomever it was that had orchestrated this, because those whatever kind of money you make ain't gonna even mean nothing. And a lot of times, what these young boys don't know is when they take money for hits and things of that nature, when they take money for hits, if it gets too hot, the person that hired you will off you. See, these young kids don't know that. Just like this case is hot. When it gets too hot and they are afraid that they're on your butt and you gonna say something, they will off you, and it will look like that the opposition hit you. That Dolph's people hit you when it was actually the people that hired you, because they don't want you to break and tell on them. So these kids aren't being taught anything, and it's a sad thing. It is a sad thing, and I don't know who did this to Dolph. I don't know why they wanted this done to him. But I do know that that there had people gotta is you gotta pay when you do the crime. You gotta do the time, okay? And a lot of people get mad because they go, oh, she just a police as such and such or whatever. um yeah, I did work for the police department. I do have my own investigative company now. It what's sad is we hate on the police until it is our relatives that this is happening to. Okay, so we say we're not going to say anything, and then we don't say anything, and whomever is doing these murders and doing these hits or whatever, that gives them the chest. Oh yeah, I got 10 bodies up under my belt. Okay, so you don't want to say anything, and then they get the big chest, and then when you look at them wrong, they popping you or your family member, and you mad because the police didn't get them 10 murders ago, when you already knew. When we don't say anything, we help them to become ruthless like they are, and trust me, they will it will circle back around to us if we don't take care of it. Okay. So I got to get off of here because I gotta run. I gotta go out on a one of my clients. I gotta go out on a case. Like I said, I do private investigative work, but y'all just pray for our city. I might get back on later on. Like I said, I would never, even if I knew vital information, and I talk to my friends, I can't say anything that's going to hurt a case, but I will say this: they're not going to get away with it. They messed up. I just don't want to see any more innocent people hurt, and the detectives don't either. They don't want to see any innocent people hurt either. And I mean, when I say that, I'm talking about the people who's involved with his relatives and family members. They don't want to see that. And that's what you have to think about when you do things like this, especially when you hit somebody at the caliber of Dolph. You have to think about your family members. I know people were saying, ain't nobody gonna hire no nothing that's sloppy. Let me tell you something. And then I gotta run. people with money will go and get somebody that they can trust to run out to the hood. Their names might not necessarily be on it, but they'll get somebody to go out there and recruit some people for them, and they'll say, well, I never talked to that person, I never knew that person. And they really don't care how sloppy it is. Now they've gotten spot. They want it to look sloppy because they know people gonna say, well, ain't nobody with money gonna hire nobody sloppy like that. That's how they want it to look. I'm very suspicious about why that car was put there. I don't know if the VIN number was changed on it because they chop cars up here all the time, change the VIN numbers on them. It's almost as if they wanted that car to be found. I really don't believe that the young man that was killed yesterday was killed because he told where the car was. I believe he was killed because he probably knew he knows what happened, and they offed him because they didn't want him to be questioned. Okay. So I mean, and these are all my opinions, but I'm very suspicious about that car. Dolph owns that house because he was big and invested in properties. He had become a businessman. He was big and investing in properties, so that's one of his rental properties. They shot videos and stuff in front of the house. Why would they go put that car there at an abandoned house? The neighbors, it's older people that live around that area. I'm sure they called. They saw what kind of car that was on TV. They wanted that car to be found, probably because they already know it wasn't like it was just really hid. It was just parked in the backyard of a house that Dolph owns. So they wanted it to be found. So it means nothing that that car was found, especially if the VIN number and the tag was probably stolen. But if the VIN number has been changed, I mean, what kind of sense does that make? To just go park. I'm sure they put it there. They had already planned that they was gonna take it there, and then they jumped in another car. But here's the thing: they did not know that doing this to Dolph was going to get this type of attention, and more people are speaking out. Don't make them snitches. It just makes them, you know, um, concerned citizens that want to that want to take their neighborhoods back. That's how you send a message that you ain't gonna. You can. How can you say you love somebody, but then you get mad at somebody for telling what they know, and getting who the people that are involved with doing this behind bars? I don't understand that. But anyways, I gotta run. Like I said, this is my first time going live on YouTube. I might get back on later on, and then I'll be uploading like some of my, because I do crime shows. I will be uploading some of my crime shows. A lot of them may not be live. Well, they won't be live. There's just some shows, some cases that I've investigated that I kind of recorded, and had somebody to record me investigating them, and their cold cases too, because that's kind of what I do, cold cases. But I want you all to have a good day. Talk with you later.